proud to be sponsored by Diamond Bright, the car care products that have been keeping the furious fleet looking their best for a long time already. To find all you need to keep your car clean and protected, follow the link below to diamondbright.co.uk. Hello, welcome to Furious Driving, and I'm out here on the drive with a large, slightly conspicuous package. And normally when a large conspicuous cardboard box turns up unannounced, an ill-conceived, ill-thought-out, massive purchase, Mrs. Furious lives up to that name and is generally unhappy. In this case though, she's quite pleased because she loves doing camping, which is like the worst thing in the world as far as I'm concerned. In a little tiny thing that takes an hour to put up, it's a pain to put down again. It's just miserable, but she thinks that's a brilliant holiday for some reason. Anyway, this particular ill-thought-out, ill-conceived purchase, not that one is different because this one finally gives purpose to Hippo the Freelander. Right, so we've enlisted a helper. Say hello, Jason.
Hello, Jason.
That'll do. We needed some muscle. Couldn't find any, we got Jason instead.
Thanks, bud.
You're welcome. So, the idea of the roof tent is you've got a car which has got roof bars on the roof, and you just rock up wherever you want to go camping for the night, and instead of having an hour's faffing or messing around putting stuff up and down in the rain, you just pull the handle, pop it over, and what do you know, Robert's your father's brother, you're camping. You've got a mattress in there, you've got your sleeping bags in there, it's all good to go, bada bing. How good can this be? Jace, how good can this be?
Fairly good.
Yeah, fairly good. I'm going to call that glowing approval. Mind your fingers here. Tiniest knife in the world, doing sterling service. Now, do you reckon we can get this thing out without breaking anything?
Do you mean on us or the thing?
Anything really. Yeah.
Well, let's hope.
Let's hope. Well, there's a bag of stuff here, which is probably important. Could be shoes. Is that shoes?
I don't.
Right, so one of these sides will be the top, one of these sides will be the bottom. Should we lean it forward?
Why not?
This thing should weigh about 45 kilos apparently. That went well.
Yeah.
Try again. The Chuckle Brothers live, apparently. Oh. Well, that went well. Oh, should we go and stick this under scaffolding and give up for a bit? Well, that was well timed. Found what's left of the instructions after the rain. So let's see what we've got in here. Hopefully, some stuff. A large tent-like item. Good start. Right, so is there stuff inside? It's nice and light. Yes, there is. Aha! Oh, knife and fork. That's good.
Useful.
Little
LED bowl.
Yeah, pouch. Fire dragon. Oh, firelighters. Okay.
Yeah.
Camping. Well, they did say there's free stuff. I was hoping it might include fittings though. Right, it says we've got to go in. We are going in. Ah, toggle. There is stuff inside the tent.
We have stuff.
Oh, we have a broken zip as well. That's... Okay, access to stuff. Bag of sticky things. I'm going to say poles. Oh, we have, I wonder if it's a blooming heavy. It's a ladder. Ladder, okay, and there's a big bag of bolts just there. Ah, it's a storage bag. And these, I guess, are the roof bars.
Yep.
So this is the stuff we were looking for. Hurrah.
Hurrah for the bars.
Hurrahs for the bars. All cheers for the beers, or hail for the ales. One glass of wine for the ladies. Place mounting channels on the exposed bolts. Yeah. Slide the 10mm nylock nuts onto the inner slot in the centre of the mounting channel. Oh, okay. I'm assuming once this is done, you can't, or on the car, you can't reach these bolts anymore. So these, in theory, slide in. Yeah, clever. Clever girl. Right now, before we whack it on there, I am more than a smidge concerned that sharp metal alley rail is going to take a chunk out of that. So I might put a bit of a gaffer on the bottom of the rails. Oh, and then if you kind of get on your palms, then you get high enough then to go over the roof bars and these sticks, not sticks, bolts. Oh my God, that is heavy. At that point, yeah, there we go. It'll be a disaster because the bolts were going to be the wrong width for the roof bars, but I guess they've thought of this kind of thing. Right, now I just need to attach these little brackety things for the ladder, which is also what doubles up as the pulley overy thing. Right, that looks like it's kind of done. Let's see if we can open this thing. Right, let's put this thing up for the first time. So, oh, that's not helpful. Unstrap the ladder first of all. That comes off the side. Then, apparently, up it comes. Wow, is this really how it works? Apparently it is. Ha! My tent's up, I'm done. How good is that? That's what I call camping.
Sorry, it's gone out.
I wonder how comfortable a thing actually is. Ah, well this is good. So we've got our mattress pre-installed. Apparently you can leave your sleeping bags in here as well. There's some little frame things so you can have awnings and stuff popped up. I do need to go and fetch that from over there because that's the travel cover. That's quite impressive, isn't it? I was really unsure about how stable this would feel, especially because right now I'm on the, oh, you undo these bungees as well. I'm on the not supported by the car side, but it feels really solid. I'm impressed. Right, so next day, and it's Saturday afternoon, we've had our day of doing stuff at home. Going to go camping tonight. It's taken about 10 minutes because this thing's already packed up onto here, weatherproof, ready to go. We've got the dog cage in the back, so the dogs can jump in there, unfortunately. A couple of sleeping bags, a blanket in case it gets chilly, a couple of bowls for washing up and beer, wine, food for breakfast in the morning. It's like 10 minutes of getting the stuff chucked in the car and we're ready to go. Right, so this is it. We've landed in a field. We're only about 15-20 miles from home, so if it's terrible, go home again.
I'm also here. You got me in the shot, didn't you?
Nope. But all you need to do is unvelcro these things.
I'm helping.
If you can reach the roof of the car, you can help. Where's the other end? Find the end of the zip. And bear in mind, this is the first time I've done this.
Isn't it?
Not yet. Wait a minute, dogs. Wait, dogs. I was thinking undoing the cover is actually slower than putting the tent up. Problem is, of course, because the car's quite tall, once you've reached the middle, or almost the middle, you can't get to the other end. Oh, there we go. Now, I need to hoop that off. Okay, this is surprisingly tricky compared to actually putting the tent down. Oh, the cover's meant to stay on the thing, but what a pain in the bottom. Okay, here we go. Whoop. If you're still underneath it. Done. Yeah. And that's done. If we were doing multiple days here, we'd just leave the sleeping bags unfurled in here and then even fold the tent down with the sleeping bags on it. Because we're doing one night though, we'll take them out with us. Well, the Freelander has proved itself incredibly handy. We've refitted the cover so that's easy to put back on when we pack up in the morning. We put the little awningy things up there so you get views out of the window. All going swimmingly. Quickest we've ever set up on a campsite ever. Going really, really well. Furious Junior up there on the iPad. One dog done a massive poop within feet of the entrance. Mike, stop it! That's the second dog to roll in poop. That dog's already rolled in poop and then climbed on the table. So Mike and Indy are in disgrace. And now we have a rainbow. over there. We're only a few miles from home, but it's really nice being so peaceful in the countryside. Just a nice breakaway from being home. Ah, I'm being done by mosquito spray because there's mosquitoes appeared. Ow. And it's nice to give Hippo a bit of a purpose, really, because camper van's too expensive. Freelander with a tent on the roof, cheap alternative. Because this thing was massively cheap because it's the end of summer and they're just dumping stock for winter. So a good time to buy one if you're looking for one. And this thing is quite handy. It adds a bit of weight to the car, 40 kilos and a little bit of drag, but I don't really drive this car that far anyway. And this is no more than 2 kayaks. Not that I transfer many kayaks around most days, but this could transfer across to other cars. I could stick this on the Mercedes estate or the Red Rover estate quite happily. Well, we had a lovely evening of pot noodle, wine, and eventually wandering down to the pub because there's not much else to do around here. But it is amazingly peaceful, and this full moon is astonishing. And the Freelander looks like a tempting bed for the night. The tent fitted the 3 of us in snugly, and it was cosy and warm, more than any tent I've ever been in before, because we're well off the ground. Right up until the night mist chill came down, and then it got kind of cold, and then there was some dampness started appearing inside the tent, which is, I guess, a tent thing. But waking up to this was amazing, and who doesn't like looking at Freelander first thing? But the best bit, egg and bacon cooked on a stove outside for breakfast. Amazing. These two can smell breakfast cooking, but they're not getting the bacon. And the jet boiled in like 30 seconds. That was amazing.
Dad, look, watch. There's a free breakfast. Look at it.
Yeah. Then of course a nice walk down to the river, which I'm fairly certain the dogs enjoyed more than we did. Yeah. Let me just get the ladder, wake it over. Tent packed. Yeah. Done. Right, goodbye campsite. That was quick and fun. We've learned some lessons. I'll tell you what we've decided in a moment. I don't think you can see that, but there's a little Italian registered Lancia over there, which I wanted to take a walk past, but it was gone when I went to go and look at it last night. A model we don't get over here, and I'm absolutely fascinated by it. So we're back home. Well, I've had to put the thing up again because it got quite damp in the night, and obviously it's not going to dry when it's all packed up. So Hippo is all packed up and ready for the next adventure. All good to go. Convenient, you might say. And that is the best thing. The car is just sitting here waiting to go. There's no going and finding the tent from the loft and making sure we've got all the pegs and stuff. No worries about hard ground we can't hammer pegs into, soft ground that's going to sink into. Just rock up anywhere and camp. job done. The car has a purpose at last, and let's face it, Freelanders are astonishingly capable little 4x4s. There's virtually no way you'd want to be camping in the UK that you couldn't take one of these things, whether it's just a grassy little campsite like we did last night, or somewhere, you know, a bit more remote and wild, campy. Yeah, you name it, you can go there. So as a proof of concept, that was a really good evening. We know now that we all fit comfortably into the tent, and if you're wondering how the dogs got up the ladder, they didn't, because it was going to be too small. They fart a lot, and you know, one of them had rolled in poop, so they slept in their cage in the boot, which they were fine with. They like being together, they're warm enough, they're absolutely fine. So they were happy and we were happy, so all good. Second question, which I'm sure you're wondering, did it rock about? Was it unstable feeling? And the answer is no, it felt absolutely rock solid, much better than being in a tent on the ground, because you're not down in the chilly ground air, you're not feeling the rocks through the mattress is built in so it doesn't deflate halfway through the night, which is the usual problems, and it didn't rock about at all. The only time the tent moved was when the back door of the car opened to let the dogs out in the morning, then the whole rig shook about. But the rest of the time, absolutely amazing. I'll do a separate video on the pros and cons of these things, because there are cons we did come across. Got to weigh it up for yourself, but I'll do a top 5 pros and cons in a few days of living with one of these things. We've learned some lessons of what we're going to do next time rather than what we did this time. We'll make sure we bring chairs. We thought we'd just sit in the car underneath the tent, but that wasn't really comfortable. Luckily there was a bench on the campsite, so we just camped up next to that because it's fairly quiet. That was good. We'll make sure we throw in a barbecue or something next time, and remember to check the amount of gas we've got for our stoves, because even though I've been thinking about buying one of these things for about 20 years, it was all very last minute coming out this weekend. Believe it or not, when I had a Freelander back in the early noughties, I did want one of these roof tent things, but you know, it's just a lot of money, and they seem to have come down in price quite a lot for one thing, and secondly, as I said earlier in the video, end of season, buy one for a bargain for a couple of £100, perfect time to do it. And also looking at them second hand, these things hold their value really well, so even if we use it a few times, decide we don't like it after all, we can actually sell it on again for basically what we paid for it, or certainly only a very small hit, which is the kind of deal I like. In a couple of years' time, when Furious Jr. is a couple of years older, he's going to be too big for the three of us to squeeze in there. As it is at the moment, it's okay for the three of us, but it's a 2/3 person tent, and it works for us for the time being, but maybe not in a couple of years' time. Anyway, this is a slightly different video from usual, and I hope you've enjoyed a little adventure out in Hippo the Freelander. It's a car with more capability than it ever gets to use, unless I start going off-roading in it, which is a possibility. But as usual, thank you for watching. I was going to stick this on the T-Brake channel, but it did become a bit more about the car as much as the travel. Future travel logs, I think, will bung on T-Brake. In the meantime, though, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, head over to the furiousdriving.co.uk for hats like this, t-shirts like this, and many others, and other stuff as well. And join me again next time doing something completely different. As always, see you later, goodbye.